What's up, everybody? Today's video, we're going over the 101 to the 106 in your Superflex rookie mock draft. What are we doing with these picks? I'll give you some ideas. Should we trade back? What picks should you be making? So we'll go over that with you guys. Before we get into that video, just do me a quick favor there. Hit that like, hit that subscribe if you do play Dynasty Fantasy Football. But let's get right into it. All right, so the 101 to the 106, I have it pretty much like this: Bijan, CJ Stroud, or Bryce Young, either way you want to slice it. JSN coming there at the 104, A Rich, and then Will Levis there at the 1-6. So if we've got the 101, we're pretty much taking Bijan no matter what, unless you're in an absolute bad situation and you need QBs or you need to retool or, just straight tear everything down and need to rebuild. So if you do have the 101, take Bijan Robinson. If you're not taking Bijan Robinson, you want to move back to the 102, the 103, the 104. You can probably pick up at least 2 to 3 or more first round picks for that 101 pick. So if you can move back, pick up an extra first on top of that, pick up maybe a 2024 first and or player on top of that, you can definitely do that if that trade is worth it. But otherwise, you're just taking Bijan there at the 101. If you've got the 102 or the 103, you're pretty much have to take a QB almost just because of the upside and because of the value. So to take either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young there, if you don't need a QB, you can move back, right? Move back maybe if you want. I'm okay even with taking JSN ahead of one of the QBs. I don't know if I could do it over both. I think I'd have to, the highest I could probably put JSN is going to be at that 103 there. I think you just have to take a QB there at the 1-2. But if you can move back, if there are QB needy teams, if you can move back, if you can go out and get a more proven player instead of taking a risk on the draft pick, if you don't need the QBs at the 102, 103, who can we try and go get in this particular case? Let's see if we can get some solid young wide receivers in T. Higgins, the Olaves, the Drake Londons, right? Can you go out and get a proven QB with that 102, 103 if you're in that situation? Now, I needed a QB in one of my super flex leagues. I had the 102 and the 103. I traded away the 102 and a couple seconds and wound up getting Deshaun Watson. That's a perfect move. I think that is an awesome move and value to go and get Deshaun Watson for that particular price that I paid. But depending on your league, you may have to pay even more than that. Do you have to give up a 102 and a 108, 109 to go and get a proven QB? Or you might have to give up more than that. If it's not the Deshaun Watsons, Kyler Murray's, Lamar Jacksons that people are sour on, these quarterbacks are going to cost even more than that. So if you can give up some draft capital to go out and get a proven QB, I would much rather prefer that than take a chance on any of the rookies. Again, guys, I'm not a NFL scout. Even the NFL scouts can't get shit right when it comes to the quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are just one of the hardest positions to try and go out and predict. So, we go with pretty much the draft capital and, that situation that they go into, and we kind of take it from there. It's just too hard to kind of gauge those guys coming out, who's going to wind up being successful and who's not, because even the NFL is not getting that right. I'm coming off the 102, 103. I want to try and get a proven QB or a proven player. Most likely a wide receiver because I want a guy that's going to last. I want value. You're giving up a QB here at that 102, 103 spot. So you better make sure you get back some really good value on top of that. You want to be in super flex leagues. You want to be in the top 6, 7 picks. You want to be in this top 6, top 7 of the rookie draft. You don't really want to be at that back end part of it, right? So at the 104, say JSN, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young comes off the board. You've got the 104 here. I think pretty easily you can take JSN, or you can go with the upside and the Anthony Richardson or the Will Levis, right? A lot of people have Anthony Richardson up there or even higher. It is, of course, a risk. I don't know if I want to take it. I think I want to take more of the sure thing in JSN. If somebody does want Anthony Richardson, if Anthony Richardson does fall, again, now we can move that 104. Let's move back at least a spot or 2 spots. Um, get off of Anthony Richardson, get yourself JSN after that, and again, some kind of pick, some kind of asset just from moving back there. But I don't want to go past the 107 here. I'm okay with moving from the 103, 104 down to that 106, 107 range if I'm getting another first on top of that and or some kind of assets with that. You're in the 105, 106 slot. Again, you're in the perfect position to be. You want to be in that top six, and you've got plenty of options. You can take the QBs, you can take JSN, you can take Gibbs if you want. You can move off of that pick, right? You can pick up multiple assets. People that need QBs or GMs that need QBs are going to pay up to try and get one of these guys. So, especially if you're on the clock, if you wind up waiting, and some of these guys wind up falling, you can really get a haul for people that from people that really need QBs. Because when we're playing in Superflex, we know how important it is to have those QBs. If we can get two of those top 10, top 12 QBs, we have an advantage at two of the most important shallow positions. That's pretty much what I'm looking to do here if I do have the 101 to 106. Any of those picks there, like again, I'm okay with moving back at least maybe down to that 107 or so and picking up more assets on top of that, depending on your team roster construction, depending on what you need. We always want to draft the best player available. So if the best player available doesn't necessarily fit, you can always either draft that player, take the value, and trade them later on, or you can try and trade that pick to get what you really need for your particular team. So, guys, let me know down there in the comments if you do have the 101 to the 106 in your Superflex leagues. What pick do you have? What are you trying to do with that pick? Are you just planning on making that pick? Are you trying to trade that pick? What exactly is your plan? Let me know down there in the comments, guys. Do me a quick favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe if you do play Dynasty Fantasy Football. But stay tuned for the next videos.